Joe Cunningham back there. Time with Jim Herron, the Cardinal photographer for 30, 40 years.
Daniel McCutchen, recalled for this start, came in with an ERA over 8. From Norman, Oklahoma, and he pitched at the University of Oklahoma. Drafted initially by the Yankees 13th round back in 2006. Yankees spend a lot of money, but boy, they come up with a lot of prospects. This was a deal that included Ross Ohlendorf, Jeff Karstens, and Jose Tabata in exchange for Xavier Nady and Damaso Marte.
Now there's 4 guys from that trade that are here on this roster.
Right.
Big parts. Last night starter, tonight starter, left fielder, and the 4th one was?
Well, you got Ohlendorf.
So another starter. 3 starters and a starting left fielder.
Runner at first. No balls and a strike on Yadier Molina. 1-0 St. Louis and an RBI by Jeff Suppan in the second. Runner goes and safe at second. Colby Rasmus.
Cardinals were nailed 3 times last night by this catcher. And Colby picks up his 10th steal. Got a good jump, steals it off the pitcher, throws sails a little bit, but Colby was on past the second baseman, so the tag was late.
Big gap in the left center for Yadier Molina.
So Kerrigan told me, the pitching coach of the Pirates, last night's ball game, he said he made a mistake. He went out and talked too soon to his pitcher. As he went out to talk to him with Molina coming up, and they thought that Molina was not going to bunt, that he was going to just shoot the ball to the right side, and they were going to walk the bases loaded and make Schumacher beat him. But the veteran left-hander Lopez, misread it and threw the ball over the plate.
Just 6 more outs, first ever Eastern League championship, perhaps moments away. Miguel Montero hit into a double play, walked and struck out. It is just an update on that graphic. It is actually a 4-2 game in the 7th inning at Trenton, the AA affiliate of the New York Yankees, the Trenton Thunder. Tony Watson, pitching 6 innings of 5-hit ball tonight, has struck out 10. Ball fouled out of play.
Keep it going, curve.
Last night, Justin Wilson, 7 innings of shutout ball, 2-0 in the playoffs. Carlos Rosa tossing in the Diamondbacks bullpen.
Let's just get this thing settled down here so Diamondbacks don't get on some kind of a run. Get that one out just to get their attention.
Montero goes down.
Like that.
Shot Hope Park and Will Ledesma loosened in the Pirates bullpen. Second strikeout for Daniel McCutchen. Comes up Adam LaRoche. The AGH cam showing you the strikeout of Miguel Montero. The strikeouts continue to mount for this.
Cooperating. We haven't seen the sun yet, but he started on time as Milton Bradley will face Daniel McCutchen. And takes strike 1 on a fastball, registering at 93. Bradley hitting .367 with 3 homers and 12 RBIs over his last 49 at bats. Swing and a miss. And now ball and 2 strikes. Comes with a couple of day-to-day injuries. Andres Blanco with a tweaked left hamstring on that double yesterday as Bradley strikes out. And Sam Fuld also aggravated his left wrist on that ball in center field yesterday. And Randy Wells with a tough loss, his 8th of the year, even though his ERA is under 3. He's only 10-8.
The Dodgers will celebrate here at PNC Park if they win today. Actually, we're told even if the Dodgers lose, they will wait and see how the Rockies finish up. And if the Rockies lose and the Dodgers win the NL West, they will celebrate. So it'll probably be a little bit delayed from the end of the game, but they will celebrate here, and we will have every moment of the celebration as well, so you're not going to want to leave. Rafael for a call leads things off and takes downstairs ball 1. 88 miles per hour on the fastball.
Rafael in the middle of a 10-game hitting streak and starting to score a lot more runs, too. If you're a leadoff hitter, if you're a guy like Rafael Furcal who's spent his whole life doing that, I think the sense of pride is how many runs you score. That's the name of the game. If you're a guy that's hitting at the top of that order, he's got 91 runs scored right now. He'd like to get to 100, and he'd like to lead this team. Champ has 96 runs scored.
We did have a 5-minute delay before this game got underway. There was heavy rain throughout the downtown Pittsburgh area this morning. The tarp was on the field. And instead of having a 1:35 local start, we started at 1:40 local time. And on 4 pitches, McCutchen strikes out for a call.
I'll take it. He just gets a little sloppy on that. He's kind of long-armed that swing, not too much wrist in there, and wasn't able to get the bat head through the zone in time to make any contact.
And it usually can come in the most unlikely of places. This is the so-called number 5 starter, but if he gives the Pirates 5-6 good innings, that could be huge. This is one of those games you want to win, just to get the bad taste of the last 2 out of your mouth, salvage something, go out on the road with a good feel, and let's hope Daniel McCutchen can contain these Milwaukee Brewers. They're very good hitters, and also keep an eye on opportunities for the Brewers to run. This is a young pitcher. They've got some guys at the top of their batting order that can run. Weeks can run. Gomez has 4 steals. Braun has 3 steals. So a real challenge for Daniel McCutchen because they can hit and they can run. So he needs to be on his game, and hopefully he can keep them off that outside part of the plate.
As we said, it's just a spectacular day here in Pittsburgh. 63 degrees. Forecast baseball. Umpiring crew, Hunter Wendelstedt will call the balls and strikes. Dan Bellino is the first base umpire. Crew chief at second base, Jerry Lane. And Mike Winters, the third base umpire.
And last time out for Daniel McCutchen, just 4 innings against Cincinnati. The Pirates came back and won that ball game, or held on to win that ball game. That was one of the dramatic wins during the 3-game sweep. 4 innings, 4 hits, 3 runs. He walked 3, struck out 1. He cannot afford to give free passes to this good hitting Brewers team.
And starting right off the bat here with Ricky Weeks, who doesn't need any help. He's batting .327, but as we said, he's walked 10 times. You don't want to put this guy on the base in front of Braun. That fielder is struggling, but Ryan Braun is off to a fine start. Carlos Gomez, center fielder, on deck. And in the hole is Braun. 1-0 pitch, 2-0. And you might have seen the story today in the paper, Joe Kerrigan talking about Charlie Morton's struggles, and he simplified it to just one issue, and this really goes with the entire staff and probably every staff in baseball. Throw strike 1.
Yep. First pitch strikes. Get out in front.
And that's usually McCutchen's game, Steve. We just have not seen it just yet. Now maybe it's a bit of early season jitters from Daniel McCutchen as Joe Kerrigan looks on. McCutchen's spot in the rotation not necessarily solidified. He did make this his first start on the 11th when the Pirates first needed a 5th starter, and then was slated to go back possibly to the minor leagues, but then Ross Ohlendorf got hurt.
Well, the thing is with Daniel, you know, he's not a baby anymore. He had 6 starts last year, so he should be getting the feel of the major league atmosphere. So there's only so long you can use that as an excuse. Not that he does. I don't think he does. But when people look at that, they'll say, well, he's still young. Well, he's had enough starts now where he should be getting more and more comfortable each time he gets out there.
He is 27 years old, former pick of the Yankees, Rays, Cardinals, Yankees again. And strike 3 right on the corner. Nice start for Daniel McCutchen.
And that scares me to death because that's what Charlie Morton did the other night. Yeah, good comeback behind 0-2 and then hits the call third strike, knee high, gets the call, and he's off to a good start.
Renamed the Roberto Clemente Bridge. And then a great shot of downtown Pittsburgh. All these bridges have names. That's the Roberto Clemente Bridge. A little bit further down is the Andy Warhol Bridge.
You got to know what bridge to take to get where you're going.
Virtually none of those bridges were of any use when the Dodgers first came to town late Thursday night. The G20 Summit was in full swing, and it was a big-time security lockdown in downtown Pittsburgh. I don't know if I've ever seen anything like it. Even the 7-Eleven right next to the hotel was closed.
That never happens.
That's their convention center. That's where everything went down on Thursday and Friday, the G20 Summit.
Well, the show of force was amazing here, and you know the thing that amazes me more than anything else is obviously the airspace control was even more heavily guarded, and we didn't see any of that. Occasional helicopter would fly over, but you knew that there wasn't anything getting near this place. It was the safest place in the world to be. Talking about all these bridges here in town being named, they're all exactly the same, and they're all painted yellow. They have to be named.
Swing and a miss. Martin strikes out against McCutchen. McCutchen's now retired the first of 7 he's faced. This Friday, join the Dodgers as they celebrate Tommy Lasorda's 60th season in Dodger blue. To commemorate,
GNTV.com, brought to you by The Great Escape, for up-to-the-minute information and stats designed to give you everything you need to know during the game. The WGN Sports Game Zone is available for every Cubs game and is brought to you by The Great Escape. Pools, patio sets, play sets, hot tubs, and more. You get all that and more. And more. What more could you ask for?
And speaking of more, I think there are more Cub fans in the house than Pirate fans today. A lot of blue jackets, blue hats, T-shirts, raincoats.
Tattoos. Swing and a miss by Lilly.
Hey, Cub fans, when you're at Wrigley, make sure to buy a bottle of ice-cold Pepsi or Diet Pepsi from a vendor. Then check for the Cubs Win sticker under the bottle for your chance to win an overnight stay at the Abbey Resort and Avani Spa on Lake Geneva at Fontana, Wisconsin. The coaching staff probably reminds the players each half inning as they go out to take their position, keep your feet under you. Don't overextend. It's almost like occasionally you have to kind of tippy-toe after the ball just to make sure you keep your feet under you, make sure you have a base.
Ball by Lilly, it's foul.
You really get out there and get extended, like McCutchen very nearly did on that play on the right side. That's when injuries can happen rather quickly on a sloppy, wet field.
Ted ready to try it again. One and one. Kosuke on deck. Cubs are in second in the division, but 11.5 behind St. Louis. In the wild card race are now 8 back of Colorado. And Ted apparently went around. That's a strikeout. Able to pull the bat back. Yeah, he did.
I just kind of stabbed at it a little bit until he realized the pitch was going to be down out of the strike zone and pulled it back too late.
17-year big league career. Good. Also time with the Indians. 5-time All-Star. Won 4 Gold Gloves. Played in 3 World Series with 3 different teams. The Giants in '89, the Indians in '97, and the world champion Diamondbacks in 2001.
He had that run with the Giants. Most of the All-Star years, I think, divided maybe between the Giants and the Diamondbacks. He might have been the best third baseman in the National League during that stretch.
Matt Williams.
A little high heat from Mr. Daniel McCutchen. Thank you very much. Upstairs, 92 miles an hour. See Tony Abreu.
The AGH cam shows the strikeout of Gerardo Parra by Daniel McCutchen.
232, 3 homers, 9 runs batted in for Q. Pirates starting pitchers have an ERA of 5.56 as a group. Brad Lincoln was the starter last night. He took the loss, giving up 7 hits and 5 earned runs in 5 innings, with the Astros winning that one 6-2. Big night for him, though, as his family and friends were here watching. Strike 1 to Q. Daniel McCutchen might have some family here from McKinney, Texas.
I should hope so.
No balls, 2 strikes. Brad Lincoln the day after. He had been coming off a beauty the game before. It's 1-2 to Quintero.
McCutchen with a little more life on that fastball than I've been led to believe. That one clocked at 93 miles an hour. Overthrew it a little bit, lost command.
2-2. McCutchen had excellent control in the minor leagues. He had averaged fewer than 2 walks per 9 innings, on the way to a 40-22 minor league record coming into this season. Really blossomed last year at Indianapolis, walking 29 in 142 innings. And he gets a swing and a miss for his first strikeout of the night. He was involved in that huge Yankee trade with Pittsburgh. The pitch.
It's funny because it's pretty much the same pitch that Keppinger hit out of the ballpark. Fastball that was intended to be down and away. That was over the plate and up a little bit. Keppinger got to it. Q was a little tardy.
Hit. And the batter now will be John Garland, who grounded to third in the 2nd inning. Two runs, 5 hits for the Dodgers. 1 run, 4 hits for the Pirates. Ball 1. It is 4-0 Giants. They're now in the top of the 6th inning, behind Tim Lincecum. Fastball, strike. Fastball at 87. The fastball that hit Blake was 90. 1-1. Casey down the line from third with 2 out. Another fastball and another strike. That one was up to 93. Daniel McCutchen, soon to be 27. And that will do it. So a little slider takes care of Garland, but not before the Dodgers get a couple of breaks. A walk, a hit batter, and a base hit, and they lead 2-1.
Upton walked back in the first inning. As I recollect, Daniel McCutchen didn't give him really anything to look at all.
Yeah, they're going to make Adam LaRoche beat him until he gets hot. Now, with nobody on base and 2 outs, they may think about going after Justin Upton.
22-year-old 1 for 7 with a double and a walk in this series. As that fastball is outside, 1-1 the count. See, Justin's just looking for a cookie there.
Sit on the couch with you
and leave the driving to us.
1-2 the count. I heard the handler up there saying that puppy would like to sit up on the couch with you. You better make room on the couch.
Tough to find a dog that doesn't like a good couch. Oh, that was quick.
Tough to find a hitter that enjoys a.
Make sure to buy from your Pepsi vendor for your chance to win with Pepsi in the Abbey Resort.
A strikeout Fukudome. I've got to guess in terms of team logo tattoos, the Cubs are probably right up near the top in Major League Baseball. I don't know how many people are running around with Washington National logos and things tattooed to various body parts. Off the plate inside.
I know that a lot of the tattoos, especially those sported by our men and women in the Navy, have snakes on them. So, you know, the Diamondbacks might lay claim to the snake. But as far as just the team logo, I'd have to agree with you.
That pirate logo, though. That's a call third strike. Fukudome out. Pirate logo might work well. Give you a little toughness. Don't you have a Red Sea tattooed on your. Never mind.
Never mind. It's a birthmark.
Yeah, you're born into it.
June 23rd, those guys were all scuffling. Since June 24th. On fire.
Now the baseball is being examined by Jeff Nelson.
He's been doing that a lot tonight.
I wonder what's going on.
Oh.
Tossed another one out to Daniel McCutchen. And McCutchen in a 3-3 game goes back to work. Bottom of the 5th inning. He needs to go 5 to qualify for the win. He's due to bat second in the 6th inning. And in a tie game, he faces Michael Bourne, who's 0 for 2. Ball 1.
The way this game started, John Russell probably had concerns that he'd be able to get McCutchen through 5 innings tonight. Second batter of the game, Keppinger hit a home run. Lance Berkman came up behind him, hit a tee to right field. McCutchen settled in, hung in there, gave up the 2-run home run to El Caballo, finds himself in a tie game.
2 balls, 1 strike. McCutchen pitched 3 times in April, then he was demoted to the minors. At Indianapolis, he's made 10 starts this season with an ERA of 3.86. As a major league pitcher on the road this season, 0-2, his ERA 11.32. So if he could win a game tonight in these circumstances, it might be very meaningful for him. He gets a strikeout for out number 1. Third strikeout for McCutchen.
Been a big key for him. He's been able to keep Michael off base. 0 for 3 tonight. A little 911 emergency hack there. Didn't quite get a piece.
Keppinger ripped that homer in the 1st inning, then he grounded out in the 3rd.
Like Ryan Braun just lit him up. Sometimes you'll just you lose your focus for a little bit. You get a little wary because of the long ball, especially when you're hitting a power or facing a power guy like Fielder. Not unusual to see a free pass. Put that whole package together.
Casey McGee drove Ryan Church back to the wall in right center field in the second. And they're even going to pay attention to Prince Fielder of all people at first.
99.9% of the time he will not go, but if you forget about him entirely, you never know. Highly unlikely.
Jeez, oh man, Steve, I think if I'm down 4-0, I do forget about Prince Fielder at first, to be honest with you.
Yep.
I think I'm going to be locked in on McGee, trying to get this batter to hit into 2 if you can. Fielder, a huge specimen over there at first. Attempted 5 steals last year. Caught 3 times. And we check out the PNC Achievement, brought to you by PNC, for the achiever in us all. Casey McGee, extra base hits, tied for 3rd with 10. 20 hits, tied for 6th. 4th in slugging, 4th in total bases.
Yeah, when you're slugging over 700, you're going to be on some kind of list.
Yep. One ball, one strike. 1-2. Casey McGee looking like one of
yeah,
and one of the best pickups baseball has seen in the last couple of years. Cubs gave up on him, claimed on waivers before last year, and went on to hit .301 with 16 homers, drove in 66, and finished 5th in Rookie of the Year voting.
Talent evaluation, once again.
So critical.
Somebody saw something in him and was able to sell what he saw to management. That's the key too. You know, you can be a scout and you just love somebody, but you got to be able to sell that to the people who make the decisions.
Well, Doug Melvin is the GM, so yeah, his assistants, his scouts, and Steve, that goes along with the track record. If the scout has a good track record of being a good talent evaluator, you're more likely to listen to a guy. He's calling up and say, "Hey, Doug, this McGee. We've been watching him. This guy can play in the big leagues."
Right, and I've been right before.
Yep,
and you know that. So there's some credibility involved.
McCutchen gets McGee on strikes. Second strikeout for Daniel McCutchen, now facing Jim Edmonds, who doubled. Obviously a playoff the group, the Village people. And now Chris Dickerson leads off and shows bunt from McCutchen and takes ball 1.
Yeah, the Reds 5-6, Pirates 5-5 going into the second game of a 3-game set.
Dickerson hit a pinch hit triple to lead off the 9th inning last night off Octavio Dotel, and he scored the tying run. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Now, McCutchen's going to be in the high 80s, 87, 88, 89, and he's going to be the warmest guy out there. So that's another reason you want to pitch, because everybody else is going to have to stand around a good bit. That pitch misses. But
Steve,
you get the ball, and you get to keep warm a little bit.
I was going to say, this could change, but he's not afraid.
No.
McCutchen.
No.
Really, of anything. He certainly doesn't mind the weather and normally throws strikes. Now, some people, Lastings Millage, the Bradenton, Florida native, not all that keen for this 41 degrees. But a guy like Daniel McCutchen, as you say, Steve, these pitchers like this, or they should anyway. And it's 3-2.
Drafted by the Yankees back in 2006 in the 13th round out of McKinney, Texas. Yeah, you got to embrace the opportunity. You can't be concerned about it or apprehensive about it. I think he showed a lot in spring training when he had to have a great spring, and he can't control what the competition does. In this case, Kevin Hart. He has to go out and try to do what he's going to do. And he would be the first one to embrace a rotation with he and Kevin Hart both in it. But He's trying to win a job. He won the job.
3-2 count on Chris Dickerson. And he gets him.
Nice comeback from the 3-1 count.
So Daniel McCutchen strikes out Chris Dickerson to start the ball game.
The same way Zach Duke struck out Drew Stubbs last night, and he gets a little help from the leadoff man as Dickerson chases a bad pitch that would have been ball 4, but it becomes strike 3.
Will lead things off against Daniel McCutchen, who starts his second inning of relief. David's 1 for 2 and a walk. And takes a strike from McCutchen. Starter Paul Maholm went 3 2/3, allowed 7 runs, only 2 of them earned on 7 hits. Chandler Park worked a 1-2-3 fifth, and now McCutchen in his second inning. Now, where would you guess? We don't know the answer to this yet. Where would you guess he's going to stop next?
Oh, we're getting a clue here, though.
Going across the Shea Bridge. You think he's got a goal in mind? He looks like he's walking very purposefully.
No, he went upper tank. So any other games on? Maybe he's going to go inside the cloud.
Wright takes a fastball, strike 3 called. So David has struck out for the second time tonight, 149 for the season.
Well, I think it's good Keith is traveling around because he was not enjoying the level of play here sitting in the booth.
This point in the game to pinch hit. Of course, Mankiewicz spent his time here, had some successful time here. I mean, he was great for this organization. He's such a good guy around the clubhouse, as he has been for the Dodgers. Missed most of this season, but worked out with the team every day, was in uniform every day. He's a smart guy. Got a lot to pass along as far as attitude and ability to the other players on this team, and that's the same attitude he had here in Pittsburgh.
High pop up, first base side, it'll make it into the seats. Well, we were talking earlier in the ball game about Clayton Kershaw and his sweat-stained hat. And I guess my question to you is, what do you find more sanitary, Doug Mientkiewicz' helmet or Clayton Kershaw's hat?
Neither. They're both ugly.
I wouldn't eat a meal off of either one of them.
I don't think anyone's going to ask you to anytime soon.
Doug's been on the disabled list with a separated shoulder for the bulk of the season, yet that helmet looks as if he's played in 155 games.
Yeah. Well, like I said, he worked out hard. He was with the team every day, and he really got to be a little bit more of a well-rounded player with his time here in Pittsburgh, too. You know him as a first baseman for the most part with the Twins. When he came here to Pittsburgh, he played a lot of third base and a lot of right field. And his attitude not only rubbed off on the ball players that were here, and there were many of them because it's been a revolving door, but also the fans. They loved him here in his time in Pittsburgh.
It's always a surprise when anything rubs off of Doug Mientkiewicz. He's always got all that
stick him. Doesn't even bother wearing batting gloves because his hands are just permanently stuck to that bat. He's got all the pine tar and the Manny Mota stick.
It's the Lester Hayes approach to batting.
Yeah. If it gets anywhere near me, I'll catch it. It'll just stick to me.
I do like the Mark Grace look with the no batting gloves.
He's old school.
Former high school teammates with Alex Rodriguez. Snap throw to first. That was almost the third Dodger caught on the base paths. Good throw by Diaz.
Once again, sort of a set play between the first baseman and the catcher. The first baseman knows that there's a possibility that he might throw down after a pitch like that, so don't wander too far off the bag and make sure you get back. I love catchers that like to throw. Russell Martin likes to throw. Keeps everybody on their toes.
Called strike 3. Doug doesn't believe it, but Brian O'Nora gets the final say. 2-out walk to Hudson. He's stranded. When we come back, we'll tell you about the new pitcher, Ronald Bell.
Edwin's backs. Breaks that maple bat.
Go get that ash bat. Go get that ash bat there, Edwin. Attaboy. Get rid of that maple bat. You don't want those. National League. You don't want to hurt a fellow competitor or hurt a fan. So Get rid of those maple bats, Edwin. That's okay. You'll learn.
That one is rolled foul at home plate. So Chris Snyder, who last year, because of back problems and eventually had a minor back procedure, hit just 200. And a slugging percentage Chris did last year of just .352. Wasn't the case 2 seasons ago. There was more offense, a higher slugging percentage. As that one is away. Boy, I can't even imagine how good that makes him feel.
It's got to make him feel great. Wow, look at Edmund Jackson laying off a tough slider there. Now, don't you start about what a phenomenal hitter he is.
Oh, no. Look at the dogs up there. They're saying that dog will hunt. You throw me another one of those fastballs. It's a great partnership, having the Humane Society come out to the ballpark, as those of us that have pets in our home. Look at that. He just wants one at bat, he says. He goes down on strikes, but his battery mate, given the opportunity to pick up his teammate, guess what? He did. Chris Snyder with his first home run of the year.
A little over 9 per game.
Yeah. Said they are well on their way to breaking the all-time record. Augie Ojeda quoted the other day in a story about the Diamondbacks heading toward the strikeout record. The veteran infielder said, "We've talked about this just about every day among ourselves. We even calculated what it would take not to break the record, which would be averaging 2.5 strikeouts a game. That is not going to happen." But as Augie Ojeda said, you don't want to ever be in the record book in a bad way, and this would be in a bad way. They just faced the Reds in this on this road trip, and another one, and that one, LaRoche strikes out of the ball well out of the zone upstairs. Brings up Brian Church.
He's 1 for 3 with the bat. He's 2 for 3 defensively. 2 terrific plays.
Now coming up. It's a little too happy. Bobby Scales takes a strike. The Pirates are right on the edge of their 17th straight losing season. They have 81 losses. Their next defeat will clinch it. And that would be not only a major league record, 17 consecutive losing campaigns, but it would be a record for all the 4 major sports. Only other baseball team that has had 16 consecutive losing seasons was the Phillies from 1933 to 48.
And reading some of the comments in the local paper from the Pirates players, we ask a lot, what do you play for at this time of year when you're out of the race? Well, it's not much for them to cling to either, but they're going to try to win every game the rest of the year and avoid that losing season. Chances of that happening are microscopic, but it gives them something to play for on a daily basis.
I guess if they win 28 in a row, they can avoid it. Scales strikes out.
And more so than anything else, this Pirates ball club, and I think we talked about it last time we were here in Pittsburgh, is a lot of these guys are playing for jobs next year. A lot of young players, a lot of very untested players that are going to get an opportunity in this last month to show the Pirates organization whether they belong.
Mo's not a good hitter. He's hitting 111 this year, which is probably his best year ever. He's 1 for 9.
Career 045, 9 hits and 201 at bats for Brian.
That quote that you always hear baseball players talk about, stay within yourself. And sometimes you say, well, you got your 8-hole hitter up there. If you got Wandy on deck or Paulino, a guy who handles the bat pretty well, hey, go ahead and swing it on, Hell. Try to get yourself an extra base hit, and we got a chance to drive you in. But with Mo coming up next, it makes sense. Do whatever you can to get on base, clear this spot.
We don't hear that from Joey Chestnut or any of the competitive eaters on the circuit these days.
Stay within yourself?
Yeah.
Taking one hot dog at a time. Big scandal there on the 4th of July at the Nathan's Hot Dog.
What happened?
Oh, Kobayashi tried to crash the party. He's in a contract dispute with the Federation or whatever it's called of eaters. And spent the night in jail.
Are you making this up?
No. Obviously, it was all staged.
Widely reported, obviously.
Yeah, because in advance of it, that was the big scandal. Kobayashi's not going to participate. Then the rumors were that he might show up and tried to storm the stage.
It's great stuff. Great theater. And there's the strikeout, but the Astros do get the pitcher to the plate to make the final out. It's no runs a hit and a man stranded. It's 1-0 Houston.
And a new pitcher is Daniel McCutchen. He came over from the Yankees. That was a big swap. And Xavier Nady 2 years ago went to New York, and Pittsburgh got this man McCutchen. Ross Ohlendorf, who has been starting for Pittsburgh this year. Jeff Karstens, we saw last night, good looking out pitcher, and Jose Tapada was becoming a really good looking hitter. So that was a good Pittsburgh trade.
Well, McCutchen throws a fastball, a splitter, slider, and a curve. High 80s, low 90s from the right-hander. Swingman, long relief guy for John Russell.
And Torrealba, a single and an RBI walk, bases loaded walk in the 5th inning.
Now it's time for the Padres to get those runs back.
McCutchen from Norman, Oklahoma. Campus of the University of Oklahoma located there, of course.
Boomer Sooner.
And he was a footballer in his high school days there. Drafted by the Yankees out of the University of Oklahoma. And he was one of the all-time strikeout leaders for the Sooners. Now to play, 2-2. Torrealba, Venable, and Denorfia for the Padres here in the 7th. 3 hits tonight for Adrian Gonzalez, a couple of RBIs, and he scored twice. Pair of hits for Hairston, 1 a home run, a 2-run homer. Tejada has 2, and Denorfia a pair of doubles to lead San Diego. Swung on and missed. McCutchen with a slider gets Torrealba.
And I'm sure that strikeout makes manager John Russell very proud, not only because of the strikeout, because John Russell himself was a catcher at the University of Oklahoma. Boomer Sooner. All right, let's get to it.
That's exactly what it is.
It's pretty much universal.
It's automatic. Scott Harrison, as a pinch hitter this year, is 3 for 9 with a home run. So, little family battle going on for the home run leadership this year. Jerry Hairston's hit his 10th tonight. And Scott Hairston, he has 10. Slider. No offering, no double play. 7-4 the score here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Giants have taken the lead again, 5-4. Seesawing back and forth with the Cubs. Pickoff move. Walker was well executed. Timing was good, but Venable able to dive back.
You know, that might have been set up when the pitching coach was out there saying, hey, first pitch, breaking ball away, and then on the second pitch, before the second pitch, let's try a timing play at second base. Also, you got to be aware of that thrown behind the runner at first base. So, Chris Denorfia, be aware.
There go the runners. The throw to third base, not in time, and Venable and Denorfia pulled the double steal. And that's number 20 for Will Venable. Denorfia with his 5th.
Well, after the timing play at second base, it's a fastball. High throw down to third, and Will in safely. It's the double steal. It's the double King Stallman stolen base. 2 times.
Means if you're in for a couple of problems there, you'll
bail you out twice.
Heaven forbid, huh? Check swing. Didn't go around. Yes, he did, says first base umpire Carapaza. So 1-2 to Scott Hairston. Infield is in.
I don't even have to look at the side swing. He most definitely goes on that one.
That would have been a sarcastic double, a potential triple.
Thank you. Absolutely right.
Let's see if Hairston could put a full swing on one. What might happen?
I can't see McCutchen throwing him anything other than a slider.
Another one. And he punched him out. Oh, that was a perfect pitch. No argument from Scott Hairston.
That pitch is very, very close.
But as it crosses the plate, look where it is, right across the knees.
Yeah. AGH cam is something else.
Got another bunt coming up.
Stephen Drew, who has driven in both Arizona runs. McCutchen ready to go. He'll throw to first instead, and Parra dives back. Diamondbacks got a run in the 10th. After the game was tied at 1. Pirates got a run in the 10th, making it a 2-2 game. Diamondbacks had a leadoff double from Xavier Nady and a hit by Henry Blanco to follow that up. First and third with nobody out. And a strikeout by McCutchen of Ryan Roberts, and you got Kelly Johnson to hit into a double play.
And Stephen Drew wondering where that pitch was. It could be called a strike, but it is. He's behind in the count 0-1. No sign of a bunt attempt there.
0-1. Inside, 1-1. McCutchen trying to come way inside on Drew. Stephen Drew checking down at third base with third base coach Matt Williams, who just went through a long series of signs. He's a good third baseman. Throw to first again.
We were talking at the beginning of the ball game, which was 2 weeks ago, about the Diamondbacks coming into this series last night wanting to do a lot of running. Now you wonder, these teams are going to have to push a little bit as we go later and later, just to take the chance to get people in scoring position, because you're running out of players. And the Pirates well aware of that, trying to keep a close eye at first base.
Well, Parra has 4 steals to his credit. He has yet to be thrown out. Gerardo Parra at first.
It gets down to cases like this, you're liable to send anybody.
A strike on the corner. And McCutchen gets ahead 1-2.
Stephen Drew not any happier about that call than he was on the first pitch. Okay. Well, 1 ball, 2 strikes, regardless of the chart.
It's getting late early. Guess you better swing if you go up there. Here's the 1-2. Andrew pulls this one foul. You ever notice that, Steve, when you were pitching in a game, late in the game, when strike zone got a little wider?
Well, no, I really wasn't in the game late.
You were a couple of times.
Yeah, well.
More than a couple of times.
I don't know.
How many complete games did you have again?
Well, a bunch, but
a lot. You know the number.
Well, I'm talking about the umpires now. I know the exact number and what dates they occurred.
Barometric pressure.
But no, I think the umpires play it pretty straight. I really do. ultimate respect for baseball officials, I would stack them up against any other group of professional officials.
It's hard to do. They do it every night. Swing and a miss, and down on strikes goes Stephen Drew. Well, the umpires do it every single night. Of the other sports, they don't. They get nights off in between. Football's once a week.
Wow, look at the downward action on that pitch. Well done by Daniel. He gets a very important first out. The Diamondbacks decide not to try to move the runner to second base, give up the out.
It's that, as you said, Steve, you relax, be yourself, don't worry about any outside distractions.
You're in the flow. And every starter looks for that, especially early in your major league career. Daniel McCutchen hoping to find it, hoping that it's going to come in, and sometimes you'll see it in that fourth and fifth inning. Yeah, I'm this good. I can be this good. And all you do is you just take off.
0-2, quickly ahead of Raul Ibanez is Daniel McCutchen. Ibanez hitting .240. 6 home runs, 36 RBIs. As a team, the Phillies a .259 average. That's tied for 8th in the National League. Count 1 ball and 2 strikes on Ibanez. On deck, Brian Schneider. Phillies are 5th in the league in homers. They've hit 78. The Pirates next to last, just to give you a comparison. 50 home runs hit by Pittsburgh. All popped up, foul territory. Alvarez over. And almost.
A leaner. Taking a quick look to find out where he is with the railing.
When a Bucko fan got a hand in there, Alvarez might have made that catch. Might have. A tough one.
He'll learn too as he goes over on that plate to find the railing with that right hand and use that as balance and knowing where you are to reach in. That's kind of a holding thing. You find that rail and then you go about your work of trying to find it.
Strikeout.
It's okay.
Completed on the changeup. 2-3. Back-to-back Ks now for McCutchen. There's a Brian Schneider.
Well, I did love Brad Lincoln's curveball yesterday. And I'm sure Joe Kerrigan is going to monitor the fact sometimes pitchers will fall in love with off-speed stuff for the very simple reason it's more fun than to just try to throw the ball by somebody. You trick them, you make them look bad. There's a little subconscious devil in the back of your mind that attracts.
A lot of fans ask why CC Sabathia got a bobblehead. He was only in Milwaukee for half a season. And the reason is this is the season the Brewers are celebrating the 40th anniversary. And they had one bobblehead from each decade the Brewers were here. Kind of the signature moment or player. And Cecil Cooper has been honored with a bobblehead. His great moment. The base hit and RBI.
Got the Brewers to the World Series in '82.
It's the ALCS and it's the Angels. So that's why. So Sabathia, you'd have to say the signature moment of the 2000s, the decade of the 2000s, either Braun's home run that won the game or the Sabathia complete game. As Weeks strikes out, inning is over, and we are headed to the 6th. 8-3 Brewers.
Reason to take a risk. You got runners first and third, nobody out. You're really in business. You're set up perfectly.
Ryan Roberts becomes the key batter. If McCutchen can get him here without either runner moving up, a double play would be in order. Infield is in, and a ground ball, foul back of Roberts. Hit it directly behind him. Struck out his last time up in the 9th. He has struck out twice tonight. He's hit 2 balls to the outfield, to right field in the 3rd inning, and to left field in the 5th. Infield drawn in. 1st and 3rd Diamondbacks. 2-2 game in the top of the 11th. Roberts takes a close one for a ball.
Well, you're looking for a miracle here. Very few occasions when a team has runners on 1st and 3rd, nobody out, that they don't score.
1-1. Now it's 2-1, and McCutchen falls behind. Well, the play you want right here, Steve, is a line drive that's near 3rd base.
Yep.
Wood catches it, steps on the bag. Blanco falls down somewhere. They throw to first to get out of the inning.
Well,
that's how you draw it up if you could.
If you're talking in the subject of miracles, yeah.
2 strikes now to Roberts.
I'll settle for a strikeout.
That'd be a good start. Ryan Roberts started the game at 3rd base. 2nd base, beg your pardon. Started at 3rd last night, but then has moved over to 3rd since Kelly Johnson has entered. Both Johnson and Stephen Drew coming in the 8th inning for Arizona. 2-2 the score, and the 2-ball, 2-strike pitch is swung on and missed. Strike 3.
Well, a nice job by Daniel, because he worked him inside, and really got his attention in there, and then went away and got the swing at the bad pitch. That strikeout was set up by previous pitches inside the strike zone. He was inside with those pitches, went back out, set it up beautifully. Well, step 1 of the Miracle Network.
Now McCutchen has to face Kelly Johnson.
To the plate here.
A pretty good at bat last time from Ryan Zimmerman. Flew out deep to left field.
Ray Searage, the pitching coach.
And see, this is where it could get very interesting in the second half of the season for the Nationals. Ryan Zimmerman gets hot, Michael Moore stays hot, and Jason Worth locks it in and starts to swing the bat better. You're looking at 3, 4, 5. I mean, what do you do in a situation like this? And you got your 2 rabbits on. You got Roger Bernardino on 2nd base. Maybe Danny Espinosa starts hitting 2nd in the second half of the season. He stays locked in. Now all of a sudden, this is looking like a pretty good offense.
You know, if there's any conversation I'd love to hear during a game, it's the manager and the bench coach all night long. A guy like Corrales, a guy like Johnson. How fascinating would that be?
Well, you want to have somebody you can trust as your bench coach, and you also want to have somebody that's not afraid to tell you that's the wrong decision. You have to have that relationship to where, you know, Davey, I don't want to do that right here. I think you should do that. A lot of times bench coaches are so in awe of the manager that they'll just shake their head and say, yeah, that's the right move. And that's why he wanted Pat Corrales there, because that's a guy you have a relationship with to where you can bounce things off. What do you think about this? And you know you're going to get an honest answer. I've seen many times where the bench coach is just sitting there going, that's exactly what I would do, Skipper. And you don't want that guy. You want a guy that's not afraid to say, no, that's not the right move. I would do this.
The Nats are not biting on Daniel McCutchen's constant efforts to get them out near the outside corner. 2 walks in a row, and now a great hitter's count. A great hitter on deck as well. Zimmerman trying to attack the 2-0 heater.
And that's how you're supposed to swing when you're heading the count 2-0. Let it fly. And he's thinking 3-run Tater right here, just squaring up the baseball. Got real big, but that's how you're supposed to swing. crowd's getting into it.
Right in there. Strike two.
The crowd didn't like the call. I had it as a strike. Maybe the bottom of the zone. What does pitch track say? Bottom of the zone. Good pitch.
Yeah. Ryan Zimmerman strikes out. Nats have stranded 7 in a 3-2 game.
Surprising.
There's some hackers up there.
Strike one to Berkman. That's 1 for 3.
He's one of those who believes in the old theory you can't walk off the island.
No, you can't.
30,562 are here tonight.
Well, at least, I mean, 3 pitches in that bat. Basically, it's 3 pitches in that bat.
Yeah.
That's not a lot. I'm not saying it's bad, good, or whatever. I'm just saying it. My man is up there to swing the bat. And you got to kind of like that.
And especially given his background, as JD mentioned.
Yeah, I think it's just, I mean, if you asked him to change, hey, we need to be more patient hitter and walk one.
No, that's not going to work.
No.
You are what you are. Yeah.
We've been talking about that. So, guys get to the big leagues. They're not likely to start walking a whole lot more.
No. You're not going to change that. You can't do it. Especially a guy with like Pedro who can drive the ball. It's not like he's just a slap hitter who's just going to knock the ball around the field. He's up there to drive the ball.
Berkman, on the other hand, he's not going to like that call on a strikeout by Mike Maslinski. Let's get Jeff Bagwell's opinion.
Well, I love him to death, but he's going to go back and look at this on tape. Matter of fact, I bet he goes right. If you probably took a picture of him right now, he's walking down the tunnel. Well, here he is right here. I bet he's going to go down the tunnel and check this one out.
And he's not going to like what he sees?
No, actually he's not, which is good. That means he's getting older.
Ducking out of the way.
Melvin Mora, 1 ball and no strikes. Mora walked in the first inning, grounded back to the pitcher Paul Maholm in the second. Daniel McCutchen now beginning his first full inning of work. Came on with 2 outs in the third after Esmil Rogers hit a double and chased Paul Maholm. 8-2. Pirates trailing by 6 runs. Top half of the fourth.
I never heard that one before. Did you hear that?
I was trying to listen to the announcement they were making.
They did not. They are giving Mora an error at first base, so no RBI for Garrett Jones.
So take the fielder's choice out.
Wow.
That was a tough break for Garrett Jones, losing an RBI like that. Jones with 63 RBIs again. Thought he had his 64th. Either way, the run scores. I think he'd take the team run than the personal RBI. 1 out, 1 on. 3-1 pitch. Mora fouls it back. Count full. And this is the play at first base when Jones hits into a possible 3-6-3 double play with McCutchen at third.
And the one thing you did not see there is after Mora let go of the throw, did he look back to see where the base was, or what was? Why couldn't he find the bag? But the rolling, I guess, is the throw beat Jones to the bag, but because he didn't have his foot on the bag. I don't know. I never saw that ruled that way.
3-2 to Melvin Mora. Tulowitzki the runner at first. Pirates throwing over there, thinking Tulowitzki might be leaning. And there goes Tulowitzki. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Throw down. And he's safe.
I think he missed another one down there.
Wow. I'm with you on the expression. Wow.
Not the greatest of throws, but the ball beats him in plenty of time. And again, unless he missed the tag, and it looks like he got him on the hip. If he gets him in the hip, he's out.
He had to kind of remake himself and really do a lot of extra work in the off season to go back and play the outfield after so many years of being a first baseman.
35 years old, and
it had to pay off offensively.
Sure.
He got ready to play defense, and it helped him at the plate. I got to think that's at least part of that, why he's hitting so well.
What a great sign, really, by the Cardinals. A lot of people figured with Berkman's really last couple of seasons that his career was waning. But what a bounce back year.
As soon as you get into those 30s, people start looking for signs to when's it going to happen. They think of your prime being probably 27 to maybe 31, right in there. You still have the physical abilities maybe you had in your early 20s, but now you've been around long enough to where you put them to better use. But then once you start getting up there, 33, 34 years old, you have a bad season. A lot of times people don't recover from that. Berkman has. Really warming up in the pen. Okay, Greg, warming up the grill.
You're so good. What's his Twitter account? Grilly Cheese, I believe. Just grilled cheese. Gypsies tell me it's grilled cheese 39. You want to follow him. Jason Grilly. Now 3-1 on Rafael Furcal. Well, the Bucks got to within 1 on the home run by Tabata.
Parrot attack. There's been a sighting.
Cleaning up that mess. Crazy Parrot.
He's had a busy year. Pirates had great attendance all summer long.
Souvenir.
It's got to be hard to get out of your hair. Throwing the fastball. 91 center cut. Furcal could do nothing with it.
Sometimes if you hit the ball hard enough, the shift doesn't matter.
Yep. That's what he did.
Not too much time to move. For the Pirates, I hope it doesn't come back to haunt them. In business. 1 run in, 2nd and 3rd. Nobody out, and that was it.
On a strike on Jason Worth. Ross Ollendorf charting pitches, getting ready for his start tomorrow. 1-2 on Worth. His grandfather was in town last time the Pirates were here, PNC Park, during that 1960s celebration. Ducky Schofield, remember that 1960 Pirates championship team.
Our fans remember what Dick Schofield did the month of September when Dick Groat was hurt. Dick Schofield stepped in and did a terrific job.
Hit over 400 in Groat's absence.
Well, let's hope that McCutchen can get his first win of the year, and Mr. Ollendorf. Maybe they can go back to back.
That'd be nice.
Get the monkey off their back.
Takes a seat, 2-2.
Check the heart rate right now. That ball up around the head. That'll get your attention. That ball gets to your head so quickly. It's unbelievable. Now let's think this over for a minute. Now there are sadistic pitchers now that will throw you the slow curve or the nasty slider after that.
I wonder if that's coming now. A breaking ball. A breaking ball and a strike three. Worth doesn't think that was a proper call, perhaps, but he got him.
And that was, yeah, maybe a breaking ball, but a bad one, up and in. And that ball, that's the kind of ball that can be hit a long way. Maybe he saw a spin on it and just left it off his list of attempts, or just thought it was going to stay inside. Daniel gets the call.
With your old teammates here, and I'm sure you have great remembrances of 71.
Oh, it's unbelievable, to get together with these guys once again after spending a few years with them, competing, and then coming back and enjoying the situation. It's unbelievable.
And following in the footsteps of a Hall of Fame second baseman, Bill Mazeroski, Rennie Stennett trying to take your job. Willie Randolph, who's coaching now for the Orioles, trying to take your job. What a glut of incredible second basemen you guys had.
Well, it was just a testimony to the Pirate organization at the time. They signed a lot of great ball players. Oliver, Stargell, and you can go on and on. Myself, Kleins, and all of us, Hebner, Robinson. They all came out of the organization, and that's the foundation. And once we got to the big leagues, it was like a happy family. I mean, we spent a lot of time together in the minors, and we came to the big leagues all together, and it was just, I don't know. We had an era about us.
Dave, hang on a second. We have to take a break.
Or DL today when Chipper came back. Apparently, he was swinging the bat all right.
So Wilkin Ramirez went down to Gwinnett. Schaefer stays with the big club, and let's see what he has in mind. He turns it loose and is down strike one. McCutchen, one of four players that came over from the Yankees. Jeff Karstens, Ross Ollendorf, Jose Tabata for Xavier Nady, and Damaso Marte. That was at the trade deadline in 2008. A very good deal for the Pirates.
Sure stocked them with good players,
didn't it? And Schaefer down on strikes. 11 Braves hitters have been struck out in tonight's game. And one away in the seventh for the top of the Atlanta order. Braves fans back at it tomorrow night. Game 2 of the series. Join us at 6:30 with Braves Live. Fred, Brian, and Jerome will get you started. Joe and I will have the play-by-play beginning at 7 o'clock Eastern Time on Sports South.
Red Sox. See Ellsbury with the run, but 0 for 3. Pedroia 1 for 3. Gonzalez 2 for 3. But just the one run produced from those 3 guys.
Yep, they've gotten some big outs because they've been on the base paths a lot, but they've been left on the base paths a lot. See if we can do it again. Leave 2 more on.
First base coach Ron Johnson talking with Dustin Pedroia at first. So Pedroia over there, Josh Reddick at second base, and now Daniel McCutchen's numbers. His job is now to get the right-handed hitting Kevin Youkilis out. Sold out house at PNC Park tonight. Expecting another one tomorrow.
And if you come tomorrow, you just might as well camp out. Stay around for Sunday.
Two on, 2 out for Boston in the 7th.
We get another big out.
McCutchen's first pitch outside, ball 1. He's stranded 81% of the runners he has inherited. 13 of 16. Strike. Now you got to wonder too, going back to his batting stance, Steve, did he wake up one morning and say, I think it would be a good idea to do it this way? I mean, who would develop something like that? Unless you just discover it by accident.
I have no answer to that. Not sure.
Strike 2.
But, you know, he's a major league hitter, so somehow he gets to a point where the bat is where the hitting zone is. He gets there somehow.
It's been remarkably successful for him.
Yep.
278 average currently, 11 home runs. He's driven in 54. That's a big number.
So he gets it uncoiled in time. Now there is a hat. We haven't seen that at the ballpark, have we? That topper.
No, that's a new one. One ball, 2 strike pitch from Daniel McCutchen to Kevin Youkilis. And he got him. Strike 3. McCutchen comes in and puts out the Red Sox fire. It is stretch time at PNC Park. Daniel McCutchen
gets away with that high delivery, and the Pirates hold on to the lead. 6 more to go.
3-1 Pirates after 6.5. Time to take you out to the ball game.
Scott upset. Nothing worse than you go up as a pinch hitter and you don't get a chance to really swing the bat. So 2 out, 2nd and 3rd. And Jerry Hairston a chance. Check that. It's Cabrera. Cabrera came in for Jerry Hairston in his spot, batting left-handed. Strike to him. So Cabrera's first at bat. Jerry Hairston a single and a 2-run homer. 2 for 4 tonight. Cabrera hitting just 193 from the left side. Strike 2. McCutchen finding that strike zone.
Good 2-seamer fastball on the inside part of the plate. Starts it in off the plate and it catches that inside corner rather for the called strike.
Cabrera 21 runs batted in this year. Strike 3 called. Cabrera didn't offer a swing. 3 pitches, all called strike. Inning over. 2 men left in scoring position. On to the 8th we go.
A couple years ago, he'd have been down in there. And then he'd be real disappointed again.
100 pitch, 2 for 3. And it's ball 1 outside.
Now, I bet at the end of the year you look, or I don't know, end of the year you could look, just because Lance hasn't played, but I bet Lance sees probably 4.8, 5. He's thinking about it. Now he's asking somebody, do you think I went?
And of course they're all going to say, no, man, no
way. Sean Berry's like, no, I don't think so, man.
That speaks to a relationship, though, that you could tell us about. Hitting coach to hitter. There's got to be a lot of trust built up in that relationship.
That's asking.
That's wearing him out right now.
It is. You know what? A hitting coach is there. He's a mental coach more than a hitting coach. Yeah. All he's trying to do is.
Whoa. Watch out. Flying object into the stands.
He's here every day.
He's got squatter's rights to that one.
Every day forever.
Yeah.
Ooh, he deserves it. Let him keep it.
He does. Fortunately, the guy in the red shirt on the other side of him's not hurt.
But he's good.
Yeah.
He got locked at that.
Hunter lets him have it.
That's a good veteran move by that guy. See, most people, they go and they stand up and they raise it up over their head, and then somebody say, hey, we need that bat. He just tucked it away.
I got 2 hits tonight first.
It's got a couple knocks. You want that bat, don't you?
Oh, they're asking. Do you want it? Do we need to get another one?
John is asking.
Checking with the Astros dugout whether they want to trade one out or not. Typically what happens is a player will trade another bat for one.
And they always get booed when they take it back.
Yeah.
But they always give one back, so I don't know why they've been seeing it forever.
Well, that's like the fake to third. The first move that always gets booed. Everybody screams.
No, but as we were talking about hitting coaches.
That's a nice diving try there by the catcher.
I was down in Corpus the other day, and this kid came up and he started talking to Mark Bailey. He said, I was standing right there and I was listening to him. He says, you know, I try to move my hands over here. You know, I felt like a lot better that day. And you know, it was just, I started seeing the ball there and like that. And Mark said, yeah. So he left and I went, he was only asking that for approval. You have no idea whether it's right or wrong. You're a mental coach. That's what you are. And that's what hitting is. Half of it's mental.
Infield in now. Excellent effort by Jaramillo on a wild pitch. And Feliz to third. 3-2 the count. And a strikeout. Boy, you gotta hate that. You've got a guy at third base, 1 out, 3-2 pitch. That just eats away at a hitter, doesn't it?
It is. It was a good pitch. It was a changeup, I believe, at 80. You know, it's tough. It's a little different when you get 3-2 and, you know, he just got there. So you really only have one pitch. It looks like a split or some sort of change. Anytime you leave a guy on third base, it's
Even with the return of Chipper tonight, the Braves still have not been able to put their opening day lineup back out there. To you say it's 11 times this year they've had him out there?
Yes, 11 times in 104 games now.
And the reason for that is McCann's not playing tonight. I'm sure he'll be back in there tomorrow. And I wouldn't be surprised that we don't see him tonight at some point. Pinch hit.
Yeah, it's 103 games officially. Remarkable that the Braves have won 59 games with that man having to juggle so many different lineup options in the Braves dugout. And Jason Hayward strikes out for the third time.
And like I said, McCutchen doesn't strike out a lot of guys like Reesop.
Yeah, only 2 tonight. And we head to the
stronger as the game went on. You know, and there's nothing better than the day after you win a major league ball game as a starter. Nothing better. You are on top of the world. Take a look at that line. You should be on top of the world, young man. Great stuff. And he did get stronger as the game went on. And that's confidence. Now you relax. When you're relaxed, the ball will jump out of your hand better. When you're trying to throw hard, early, you're pressing, you grip the ball too tight, you don't get the flow and the finish. But he found it, and that's how he finished up.
Oh, 0-2 on Jason Worth.
By the way, I love the way McCutchen pitched Ryan Howard with the back-to-back off-speed pitches to get the easy pop out to center field. Nice sequence. Back-to-back changeups are not what major league hitters are looking for.
Steve, you're talking about how he got stronger, he relaxed more as Worth strikes out to start the second inning. That will lead us to the good word from Brad Lincoln.
Oh, absolutely. You know, it gets that monkey.
AAA, Toledo leading Indy 4-1 in the 6th. Altoona leading Akron 4-1. Andrew Lambeau 1 for 2. Stetson Alley pitching for State College. 4 innings, 5 strikeouts, and 1 earned run. Brett Wallace will take a strike. It'll be good to see how Stetson Alley progresses through the course of the summer. He's in short season A with State College. Keeping an eye on many of the top prospects for the Pirates. Jameson Tyone in particular. And
when is the deadline to sign this year's crop?
August 15th.
Still plenty of time for that.
Too much time. One. Going to throw to first, and getting back is Keppinger. As you look at Garrett Cole out of UCLA, the #1 pick, Josh Bell, the #2 pick. Those guys basically are not able to play ball or do anything right now. It's just a wasted couple of months. Well,
yeah, they could be in short season A, getting their feet wet, and that put them way ahead of the game come next spring training.
Instead, they'll be behind. There goes Keppinger, and Wallace fouls it out of play. And that's something I hope baseball takes a hard look at and changes. It's really for the benefit of the player.
Well, in some cases, not all, but in some cases, and maybe even in most, if the player turns out to be as good as you hope, he's getting to the big leagues a year sooner than he would, and his career now is going to be a year longer. So if you look at it like that, he's actually ahead of the game financially, too, to make the move and get the career going.
Wallace down on strikes. McCutchen gets his first strikeout of the night. Now he'll face Clint Barmas, the shortstop. Barmas has a couple of singles tonight, 2 for 3.
You to that sort of thing. You can't get caught up in trying to do it all the time because his fastball is too good. And he's 6 foot 210. I keep thinking he's bigger. Brad Lincoln looks bigger than that to me.
Looked bigger than that to Cubs hitters too yesterday. Fastball misses to Brian Schneider. 2 outs, nobody on. Now McCutchen falls behind 3-0. Carlos Ruiz on the disabled list with a concussion, so Schneider getting playing time. The Parrot is back after his trip from Philadelphia. Three and 1 on the veteran left-hand hitting catcher Brian Schneider. And now full count. This is McCutchen's second start since being recalled for the second time this season. He made 3 starts in April, sent down to the minor leagues, pitching for AAA Indy. Off speed.
How about that?
Struck out the side.
Thank you very much.
Daniel McCutchen. A couple zeros on the board. 0-0 Bucks Phils. Standing by, extended highlights, analysis of this ball game. Plus, you'll get some great answers to your questions when you ask Teak. The HGH Sports Medicine Pirates postgame coming up following this one on FSN. Pirates currently down by 3, so the save is still in order for Houston Street. But John Russell does not want to extend Joel Hanrahan any further. He calls on Daniel McCutchen. You got to keep in mind there are 2 more games left in this series, and if he pulls Hanrahan now, he probably figures he still has a shot to use him tomorrow.
Exactly. But you can't send him out there in a non-save situation and burn him up and lose a day or 2.
This is an interesting situation with Daniel McCutchen as Hanrahan looks on. Daniel McCutchen has had an opportunity to start with the Pirates the last couple of seasons, was putting up good numbers in the minors, but he had control issues, unlike McCutchen in his minor league time. Really trouble with command in his big league starts. So the Pirates have him out in the bullpen now. He pitched a scoreless 9th inning on Wednesday against the Reds. His first bullpen outing. They haven't given up on the idea of him starting again, but maybe he could fill that DJ Carrasco role, providing you with some long innings, short innings, with just kind of a Mr. Do-It-All. Daniel McCutchen started the season in the starting rotation. Up and down a couple of times. In fact, this is his 4th stint with the Pirates. He was recalled Saturday.
You know, the issues continue with the Pirate bullpen, obviously, tonight. But kind of on the back end problems, which we hadn't discussed. You know, you talked about Meek and Hanrahan as you watch this ball that Chris keeps out in front. Evan Meek, a scoreless inning, but he struggled. I mean, it wasn't clean.
It was laborious.
Yep, he worked hard. And then Joel having all kind of problems.
Ball and 2 strikes on Iannetta.
So the issues spill over.
Two count. Daniel McCutchen, an 8.18 ERA and 7 starts this season.
With the euphoria in the bottom of the 6th, somewhat of a memory right now.
Well tipped. Does he hold on? He did. Nicely done by Snyder. Strikeout. Last shot.
I thought, and I still think would be a plus for McCutchen coming out of the bullpen, is his history has always been as a strike thrower. Doesn't walk too many people. Although this year, when he's been up here, it's been a little bit of a problem for him. At times, anyway. But that's one thing when you're coming out of the bullpen, especially as a middle guy. That manager, he wants you to come in throwing strikes. It's one thing that Carrasco was real good at. He came in and went after the hitters pretty good, and that's kind of a similar type role that perhaps you could see McCutchen filling.
That's strike 2 to Cody Ross. I was looking around the ballpark tonight. You know what I didn't see? Saw another. I see a bunch every once in a while. Saw one last night. See the FSN signs. Fans
from
say,
from the sign store.
Yeah.
Ones they sell down at the FSN studios.
Right. Fans always say, "How do I get on TV?" Well, that's the way you do it. Our cameras will find you. Now that one's there all the time. Bringing the game to you on FSN. McCutchen's crew had it last night, way up in the left.
They had it, and they got on TV.
Isn't that funny how that works? Strike three. Cody Ross goes down.
Showed some real fine control on this at bat. A couple of breaking balls, and then that one. Yeah, that's at the knees. You could see it pass right over the knee.
Good location. Ross didn't like it, but that was close enough.
Never liked being called out on strikes.
Sixth spot in the order will be batting second, and Clint Barmas due up third here against Daniel McCutchen, who stayed into bat and lined out the shortstop. So after Charlie Morton went the first five, it's McCutchen trying to stretch it out and stay in this game for a while.
Are you surprised that he's from Texas and he's right-handed and he wears number 34?
That's a shocker. It's always surprising to see that from a Texas-born right-hander. Wallace has been on base all three times tonight. 2 singles and a walk. He's driven in a run. Trying to get it going here with the Astros having 9 hits to this point. And he looks at strike one. Minnesota beat the White Sox 4-1 with Carl Pavano going to 4-5. Now the infield is shifting around for Wallace. They're just going to give him a bunt single. But it's 0-2. That's the way it looks. And Wood is now moving even further. So Cedeno. Now they get the word and they're really moving.
It's a blitz package.
1 ball, 2 strikes.
It's interesting because he would be more inclined once down in the count to hit the ball the other way.
True.
So I don't think they were necessarily reacting to the count. They were just late to get into position where they wanted them positioned originally.
Yes, they were. First base coach not too concerned about it. Not his job. Swing and a miss, and Wallace is down on strikes.
The split finger pitch there from McCutchen.
Urgency going down to first.
Blomquist takes inside. 1-0. Blomquist extended his hitting streak to 14 games with a single in the first inning. Grounded to Walker at second in the second and then struck out swinging in the third. Gerardo Parr, the runner at second. Going to chase one down. This Diamondbacks team has really retooled their personnel over the last few years. Finding a spare part here and a spare part there. And this year, certainly it's worked out.
Well, definitely the surprise of the National League. Who would have thunk it?
Kevin Towers now the general manager here. 15 years of GM. He'd been with the Padres for a long time. And has taken over the reins here in Arizona. They've got to be pretty pleased with the ball club. Guy's got a lot of experience. There's KT. Kevin Towers, a pretty good guy too. Here comes the 2-2. 3-2. Ozzie and McCutchen trying to get on the same page now. Full count, 2 outs to Bloomquist. Got him. Great by him. Bloomquist throws the bat. He goes down swinging for the second time in a row. Lee, Walker, and Ludwig coming up.
Well, the first name that comes to mind is a guy that you were talking about earlier that you saw last weekend in Pittsburgh, Cincinnati native.
Yeah, we had him in the booth.
Parker.
Had him in the booth. They brought back the 1979 Pirates, the world champions, and of course Dave Parker was part of that crew. Did he have 100 home runs as a Red is the question.
Well, I know one thing. He had a couple of great years here. One of those years he could have been the league MVP.
Yes, he could have.
Well, what a player he was. Well, you know, I saw where he was, talking about his numbers and his career and stacked up against some of those guys in recent years that have gone into the Hall of Fame. And I think there's a legitimate argument there that Dave Parker could be voted into baseball's Hall of Fame.
Well, Phil Garner we had on also, and he had an interesting take on a number of players that we brought up names about Hall of Fame eligibility, and rather than look at the overall numbers, his point was, was he one of the dominant players in his era? And I'd have to say yes to Dave Parker on that. I mean, he was intimidating. He hit for power. He hit for average. He could steal bases. He was a very good outfielder.
Phenomenal arm. Well, you have it there in front of you on a computer. I mean, just for some of the fans who, aren't familiar with some of the precise numbers, is their strike 3 to Valentine. Home runs, RBIs for Dave Parker are what?
Overall, he's a .290 hitter lifetime.
Wow, that's a good number.
Yeah. Played about 18 years in the major leagues. We'll take another look first at the little split finger changeup that Daniel McCutchen uses as an off-speed pitch. Inquired about that before the ball game, and you see the good depth it has when he stays on top of it or roll right up.
3 for Jay falls short, and here comes Ballantine. 2 outs, a runner still down at first. Vladimir flied out to right first time up. Cardinals and Milwaukee are underway in St. Louis, scoreless in the first inning. Mets in Houston 1-1 in the 5th. Florida leads Philadelphia 4-2 in the 5th, and Washington leads Atlanta 4-2. Out on the West Coast, San Francisco at San Diego, that's still to come, and then there's the Colorado Dodger matchup. All along everybody was thinking, well, the Rockies are in pretty good shape in the wild card, and guess what? They've got a chance to win the division. Wouldn't that be something? For Jim Tracy, who's the odds-on favorite to be manager of the year in the National League. Boy, they're finishing strong till the end. A 3-game series in LA. Your Honda standings update. Ubaldo Jimenez against Randy Wolf. That's your pitching matchup for tonight at Dodger Stadium.
George, I got to ask you a question about the postseason because you're my answer man. What is this about the New York Yankees having the option of deciding when they will start the postseason? Don't they have an hour after their last game to decide what they're going to do? Explain that to me.
It's the team with the best record. It depends on whether you want 2 days off or 1 day off, whether you want basically how you want to run your rotation, and it depends on obviously who you're going to face. For the Yankees, it looks like they'll avoid the Anaheim Angels, the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim, which is good for them because they've never played well against them. The only question will be who they want to face. Now, they've got some serious questions with their rotation, especially with Jobber.
It's new Rapid Rewards, unlimited reward seats and no blackout dates. And by Citizens Bank, we're for homes. Talk to us today about how we can help guide you to the loan That's right for you. Well, great night here at the ballpark. We go to the bottom of the 6th. Phillies leading 5-2. Hunter Pence made his Phillies debut earlier tonight. Daniel McCutchen will take over for the Pirates here in the 6th. McCutchen threw 92 pitches the other day in Atlanta in that 19-inning game. But Clint Hurdle felt like he was rested enough where he could work tonight if he needed him. 3-2 with a 2.21 earned run average. He'll face Victorino, Utley, and Howard, and if anybody gets on, then Pence will get a chance to bat here in the 6th. We have Daniel McCutchen over from the Yankees organization, and Andrew McCutchen, who is a Pirate through and through. Both with hair flopping all around. Victorino's 1 for 3, scored a run in the 3rd. It's kind of neat to have Pence's debut here at home.
Oh, yeah. Makes him feel a lot better. I mean, he's got to feel like he's coming to an all-star type team.
Because the last 2 years, Lee, he debuted in San Francisco. Remember, the Phillies were in Arizona when Ruben Amaro made the deal. And Oswalt debuted in Washington. Lee pitched a complete game in his Phillies debut. Oswalt didn't pitch badly, but wound up losing to the Nationals. Victorino fouls it back. 1 ball and 2 strikes the count.
Well, the one thing, though, that Ruben Amaro Jr. has been able to do, I mean, they need a particular player. He takes his time and goes out and tries to fill the void. You know, the other thing, I think he's given the guys a great opportunity, and I'm talking about the guys in the outfield, great opportunity to see whether or not that they would be able to be the answer by playing. We're mostly talking about Mayberry Jr. and Dominic Brown.
It's 2-2 to Victorino. The ball's in the dirt. It really got a piece of McHenry.
Those catchers, they get beat up, foul tips, balls bouncing in the dirt, going off their bodies.
There's John Mayberry, still up here as an extra outfielder for the Phillies. Victorino hits a foul over the left side, not a play. It remains 3-2. And Victorino's down on strike. Second time he's gone down swinging. And 1 away here in the 6th. That'll bring Chase Utley to the plate. Sunday night
/ summer value. The get-go summer value pack.
I think Doc wound up with 19 wins that year, 1971. Great year.
What a year 71 was. What a decade. The 70s for the Pirates.
First full season at Three Rivers Stadium. Started a whole lot of stuff going on in that yard.
Celebrating this year the many great moments in that 71 championship season. Yeah, it was on to Three Rivers, the transition from Forbes. And then at the end of that decade, 1979, they went back as the family to beat Baltimore. And then the transition in the 80s where things started to slide. That consortium of businesses in Pittsburgh took over the franchise. The hiring Mac Prine, the president, then hired Sid Thrift as the GM, who then hired Jim Leland, and that brought the Pirates back not only into contention, but 3 consecutive National League Eastern Division titles in 90, 91, and 92. And tonight we sit here. The Pirates, with a record of 46 and 42, will be over 500 at the All-Star break for the first time since that 1992 season.
Was Mayor Caligiuri involved?
Yep, very much so.
Yeah,
Mayor Caligiuri,
private public consortium,
played a huge role keeping this team here in Pittsburgh. Talk about a huge role. Daniel McCutchen has been huge. Go to the bottom of the 6th. Pirates down by 2.
Now Victor Martinez coming up to the plate, and the Pirates shifting defensively. Nobody on. Steve Pearce has the left side of the infield to himself. Cedeno over on the second base side. And Neil Walker out in short right field. 0-1 the count to Martinez. Victor walked and scored the game's first run back in the second inning, driven in by Casper Wells' RBI single. Strike 2. Daniel McCutchen not fooling around here this afternoon.
And one of those guys you love to play behind. He works fast, throws strikes. Typically, you'll get a lot of action, although that hasn't been the case through 1 1/3.
Time is called. Victor Martinez looks out on the field and see where he might find an opening. He's hit 6 balls to the left side this year safely. Maybe tried to go that way and struck out. 4 strikeouts for McCutchen. So 2 men out now in the top of the 8th inning. Time for a Coors Light cold hard blast.
Cabot wood stains. The one in the yellow can. Cabot. That's the pro.
So here is Ryan Ludwig. Solid double to left field his last time to the plate. He's driven in a run with a ground out in the 4th. So 1 for 3 with a run batted in, his 13th. I take that back, his 15th. And the pitch outside from Daniel McCutchen.
He's got a good bat when he gets the ball inside. When it's outside, he tries to pull it. Sometimes it doesn't work.
6'2", 210-pound right-hander. Daniel McCutchen. Pop-up foul. First base side. That will be out of play. It's 1-1. As a starter for the Pirates last year. Made his first start against the Diamondbacks last April. He was optioned the next day down to Indianapolis. And then came back up. Made another start last year and was kind of in and out of the rotation most of last season. Finished at 2-5 with a high ERA at 6.12. 28 appearances, 9 starts. And a pitch call to strike at the knees on the outside corner, 1-2. 7-2 Pirates in the 8th. Again, if you just joined us, there was a roster move made today as Orlando Hudson was placed on the 15-day disabled list with the strained right hamstring. Strike 3 called. Got him looking. 2 away in the Padre 8th. Now bring up Chase Headley. And Logan Forsythe, who made his big league debut here today and grounded to short, was recalled. And as a procedural move, they placed Joe Thatcher on the 60-day disabled list. You move him from the 15 to the 60, basically as a procedure to take a man off the 40-man roster because Forsythe was not on the 40-man, and he has been added.
Doesn't pull the ball back in, just sticks it.
Ryan Rayburn, the left fielder. He takes a strike. And oftentimes when you see kids coming up through whatever age group they're in, catchers will try to pull that back in, thinking they're going to fool the umpire. And really what they're doing is they're telling the umpire, yeah, that wasn't a strike.
See it here all the time. Yeah, I mean, not all the time, but you see it at the big league level. You see guys pulling the glove up or pulling it in. You're not going to get a call when you're moving your glove around.
Porcello the runner at first after a leadoff infield single. McCutchen has been able to get Jackson to fly out. He struck out Sizemore. And that one a little bit low. Snyder wants an appeal. Mike Kuklinski, the umpire there, says nope. That'll be ball one. Daniel McCutchen from Norman, Oklahoma, to the University of. One-two pitch to left field and deep. This one is foul. And a sigh of relief for McCutchen.
Just a long strike.
That thing was right down the line.
Got the change up over the heart.
Rayburn was trying to will that ball to go more to the right, but it wouldn't have any of it. Again, the 1-2. 2-2 now. Ryan Rayburn hitting in the third spot for Jim Leyland's Detroit Tigers. Struck out in the first, walked in the third, and then flied to left in the fifth. There is Miguel Cabrera. McCutchen like to stay away from him with runners on. 2-2. Strike three. Got him. 2 strikeouts for Daniel McCutchen. And after giving up the infield single to Rick Porcello, he gets the Tigers in order. 1, 2, 3. So Ryan Rayburn swinging through this one. Good pitch, good location. Rayburn fans to end the top half of the 7th. It's stretch time here at PNC Park. Tigers leading it 2-0, and now we keep you here on this Sunday afternoon. Enjoying.
This gets his first at bat. Took over defensively for Logan Morrison in the 5th. In case you're wondering, Josh Johnson has thrown tonight 98 pitches. And with that left-hander done loosening in the bullpen, and with Garrett Jones due up to lead off for the Pirates, a left-hand hitter, and then Domet and another lefty, Alvarez, sure is everything points toward Johnson being finished for the night, and it's just fine with the Pirates.
Indeed, I thought it was important trying to take advantage of all you could against Johnson, and whether it be extending at bats or drawing a walk or doing what you could to get that pitch count up. Never really did happen.
The bullpen didn't do Josh Johnson any favors last year. We'll see if that is going to happen, whether the bullpen will be called upon to try and protect a 6-0 lead, and see if the Pirates can't
tell you where the catcher's setting up, in or out. The runner at second might be able to tip you off somehow to let you know if he's in or out. But you certainly can't peek. If you peek, you're going to have a bruise. I remember Matt Williams. It used to be, people used to think the way he kind of rubbed his chin on his shoulder, they thought that somehow he was peeking in to see where the catchers sat up. But no, it's amazing, especially a big guy like Chris Snyder behind the plate. I mean, and you see the late movement at times, setting up for a pitch. And you think you'd be able to hear something, but you can't. Make hitting a lot easier.
Snyder setting up toward the outside. Pitch right there for a strike. So got Sizemore behind 1 and 2.
Take a look at the strike zone. That's paint.
One of the no-nos of hitting, you don't look, see what the catcher's doing. That's when you're not looking. he can tell the pitcher to do something that'll help him out later.
About the only thing that you could do as a hitter, or would know where the pitch could possibly be, in my mind, was that sometimes you'll see a catcher, they'll go tap their glove like right behind you to make it sound like he's inside. If you hear that, you know it's not going to be inside, typically.
Sometimes, can you pick up when a catcher, sometimes when he taps his glove on the ground, trying to tell the guy to bounce one up there? Is that something you can pick up?
Not really, no, can't. You don't hear very much.
Strike 3 call. McCutchen guns down Sizemore. 2 away in the 7th.
Take a look again. They're on the strike zone. A little help. See it in slow-mo. Chris Snyder real quiet with the glove.
We're able to go out there and handle Carpenter this afternoon. We really thought, I think, going into this one, that if the Pirates were going to win this afternoon, it would have to be a close ball game, low scoring. But again, baseball's a crazy sport. You never really know. And they came out and went at a pitcher that has dominated him for a long time and got him out of here early. A lot of base hits off of him.
9 to be exact. 7-0 Pittsburgh. 2 outs, and here's Holiday. Single to center his last time up.
And Lincoln, also the other side of the coin, he did a great job pitching for the Pirates. We talked earlier about keeping the Cardinals in the ballpark, and he certainly did that.
This is popped up behind home plate.
Oh, nice play. A great catch. Congratulations.
His career 2.33 ERA against Pittsburgh, but today 6 earned runs allowed. They'll play behind Pujols at first, and here's the 0-2 pitch.
And if this run scored holds up 7-0 right now, it's going to be kind of a hard loss for the Cardinals. They had to think with Carpenter on the mound today, a youngster facing them, making just his 3rd start this season. You got to think you're going to win, and not only to lose it, but to lose it in the fashion they have, where they've been dominated. It's going to be a tough ride home.
Milwaukee has Chicago tonight. And a called 3rd strike on Holiday sends us to the 9th. Pirates on top, 7-0.
So is he. Kids Day Sunday afternoon. A lot of these kids anxious to run the bases. A gorgeous Sunday at PNC Park. Get to do that after each game, thanks to H.K. Anderson Pretzels.
Picture perfect day. Taking a ball game.
Yep, that's how many runs the Tigers have. That's right. Oh, looks like the Dippin' Dots, Rock.
Good stuff.
Here's Miguel Cabrera taking a strike from Daniel McCutchen. Nothing in 1 to Cabrera. He double off the right field wall in the 6th inning, and flares this one into foul ground right into the front row. Little fumble-rooski in the front row, but I think still recovered to get it. Gentleman in the green cap.
McCutchen ran one in there on Cabrera, tied him up.
No balls and 2 strikes. Cabrera 1 for 3 today. Here's the pitch. 1-2, trying to get him to chase. Colorado had a 1-0 lead in that game with Milwaukee. Brewers have since put 3 up through the top of the 6th inning. 3-1 Brewers. Houston leading Toronto 3-2, bottom of the 8th. St. Louis pounding Kansas City 7-1, top of the 5th. Cincinnati on the verge of being swept by Cleveland.
Sent them reeling.
9-4. Tribe with the lead over the Reds. Bottom of the 7th. Cleveland hangs on. That'll be 5 in a row down for Cincinnati. Cubs and Boston play the rubber game at Fenway Park tonight. 3-2. Outside corner, got him. Called. Strike 3. Third strikeout of the game for Daniel McCutchen.
How about that? McCutchen coming in with just 6 strikeouts in 18 in the 3rd innings. And 3 straight here. As the strike zone has it a little bit off the outside corner, but the crew chief on it.
Rob Johnson has walked and grounded to short.
There'll be that time when he gets jammed with a fastball and it's a little number over the third baseman's head. They all even out, don't they? Seems like they do.
Yeah, you can't convince hitters they do. They forget the numbers and the Texas leaguers and the bloops swinging bunts. They remember all those line drives caught. In for a strike. Slider. Well, McCutchen's done some good pitching out of the pen. This is his 8th game. He's gone now 10 innings plus, allowed only 6 hits. No runs. Just 2 walks, including the one tonight. And down goes Rob Johnson. He has his first strikeout. Does McCutchen. Will Venable. Hard ground ball out to the first baseman, and he struck out the last time.
That's the size of a bird.
Wow. And it was in the booth. And
Mothra.
all I could see was you getting up.
It was
and
Mothra.
Your arms flailing.
Well, I was trying to get it. If it was a spider, I'd have been going out the backside. But since it was Mothra, I was trying to save you.
Mothra.
What happened there, by the way, while I was battling that moth?
Ground out the second.
Out, yeah. Man, that thing was big. I hit it once.
You hit that thing?
It didn't phase it. No.
Ryan Howard.
Got a little of that moth dust on my hand.
Oh, 2. Again, the shift on. It's Neil Walker playing shallow right. A 1-2 count on Howard.
Like a softball game with an outfield rover.
Yep. Brandon Wood now at first base, by the way. Two and 2 on Howard. Struck him out.
Time to chase, down and away. That shift puts a lot of pressure on Snyder. The strikeout, he's got to throw the ball all the way out to deep short.
Yeah.
That word earned. Seems like in a day and age you get a lot of people. There's his mom and dad here. We heard from them earlier. His mom, Tammy, his father, Tim. You know, in a day and age when a lot of young players come up and they feel like they should be handed things instead of earning things. Justin Lear is a guy for the Reds who has earned his spot in this rotation and trying to earn a legitimate chance to be a part of the Reds rotation in 2010.
Well, those guys with great stuff are always going to get more chances than those guys that do it with command and with guile and with smoke and mirrors. But that's what the minor leagues are for. I mean, after all, if you don't reward a kid for having a great year in the minor leagues, by bringing him up, whether it's from A-ball to Double-A or from Triple-A to the major leagues. I mean, what's the purpose of having your minor leagues? You do want to send a message to everybody down there that if you work hard enough and you do well, you've got a chance to make the big leagues. That's the idea. Got a pretty good arm too. I mean, he's thrown a few balls today in the mid-90s. I'm not saying he's a cunning thumber by any means, but he's got pretty good command for a guy that throws a fastball this hard.
Gone swinging is Gomes, and they're 2 away in the inning.
Five strikeouts now. Second time he got Johnny Gomes on it. That's a splitter. We showed you before what that splitter looked like, and he goes to that same grip. That time he pulls down with his middle finger, and he gets that ball to go away from Gomes, and they like it.
It's coming. You're going to need a new glove to get out there on the Little League fields. Daniel McCutchen gets out on this field. First time of the year. Didn't take long. First game up.
He'll probably got the freshest arm of anybody in the bullpen at this point. So Daniel McCutchen now will have to face Jose Morales. The 3-run double by Ty Wigginton. Big difference in the ball game so far. And we're at the top of the 8th. 6-3 Rockies. Jose Veras chased. He's on the hook right now. And Morales, without a hit tonight, 0 for 2 with a walk, takes strike 1. McCutchen comes up from Indy after spending 2 days there. He was in Florida an extended period of time once he was sent down by the Pirates out of spring training. And a big swing and a miss.
He got to miss all that first week cold weather.
Yeah, he did. He did. He was fishing down there. He and James McDonald found a piece of private water down there. They were catching some huge bass. And so he made the most of his extra time down there, caught some more fish. 0-2. 1-2 now. McCutchen out of the University of Oklahoma. Two outs. Wigginton the runner at second. And he struck him out. McCutchen comes in, does the job, puts out the fire, but the fire burned a little bit too long. Jose Veras got touched up for 3 runs. It's now a 6-3
series against the Washington Nationals, and that'll be Jeff Karstens on the mound as the Pirates announce that rotation for the weekend. Karstens will start on Friday night. Saturday night it'll be Kevin Correa, and Sunday afternoon Paul Maholm. Next Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, the defending World Series champion Giants will be in Pittsburgh for their first and only trip. Daniel McCutchen faces the pitcher Josh Johnson to start this home half of the 6th inning.
Batting, right-handed throwing Johnson. Where's that elbow pad? I'm sure that everybody in the Marlin organization is thankful for. I mean, you wouldn't want to hurt that right elbow. Kind of stuff he has.
You can text Teak. 412-412. Gentlemen might be doing that right now. Josh Johnson goes down.
Reds did take it, and you know, that's one of the greatest teams that's ever been on a baseball field, and that was my realization as I spoke to all the guys. I actually got to sit and watch the game with Sparky and talk through all his decisions pitch by pitch, what was going on in his mind. And you know how Sparky is. I thought he was going to get an ulcer all over again as we were watching it. Somehow the outcome was going to be different. But it's still a tremendous game, and it holds up to this day. And I had to write about it. That feeling that game gave me stayed with me for 30 years. And I wanted to put the readers in Fenway Park that night. I talked to 100 people who had something to do with that game on one aspect or another. And so when you read the book, I think you'll feel like you've gone into a time machine a little bit, and you can go back and relive what that felt like to be there that night.
You're going to do a book signing tomorrow?
Yes, at Joseph Beth at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, I believe, with you and Marty Brenneman. We're going to have a little Q&A and talk about the book. And
a week from tonight, I believe, on Labor Day. Well, that'll be a big game right out of the chute for Brian Kelly and the Bearcats. But they have Big East Offensive Preseason Player of the Year, Reading High alum Tony Pike again at quarterback, and Marty Gilliard his favorite target. Brand new defense, but boy, they are loaded up on offense.
It's an exciting style of offense they play.
Indeed. That'll be fun to watch. After reaching a BCS game for the first time in school history last year, big expectations here in 09. Well, I saw you at a game last year.
I was.
Didn't I see you at the South Florida game?
Yes, you did.
That was a drilling.
It was a drilling. I didn't
Aren't you a
expect it
South
to be.
Florida alum?
I am. Moving for better things out of the Bulls this year.
Strike three call to Kip Wells. 2 strikeouts for Daniel McCutchen, who makes his big league debut today.
Touched him up for the second time in 3 games. Hanrahan did earn the save yesterday, but Friday night had a rough one, going just a third of an inning, giving up 3 runs. Today, 2/3 of an inning, responsible for 2 runs, and now the base is full with 2 men out for Daniel McCutchen.
McCutchen's numbers on the year, and he was going to be the guy used in the long situation today, but now here he's pitching in the 9th inning. Pirates find themselves a run down, and this game is going to have some repercussions for tomorrow with that bullpen. There's 3 guys that have pitched 2 days in a row. Hanrahan, Resop, and Veras. Well, now Veras and Hanrahan have both now pitched 3 days in a row. So that doubleheader, starters are going to have to be very strong for the Pirates. Bullpen going to be a little short tomorrow.
Steve Pierce goes into first base. McCutchen inserted into the number 2 spot in the batting order. Garrett Jones was. Joey Votto. A little chopper to the right side, and that is a foul ball. .342 with the bases loaded. This season 0 for 4 with the sacks full. Certainly concern on many of the young faces here this afternoon. Pirates are 3 outs away from evening things up in the Central Division standings with the Reds.
And would have had a game up in the loss column on them.
Yep. Started the day a game back, and now perilously close to dropping 2 back. Boy, things just can change in a heartbeat in this game, can't they?
Yeah, I think right now you just want to finish the season strong. Guys that are having good years, take it all the way to the finish line. And this year, I think, has shown everybody that we're not that far away. So you can go a long ways on good pitching.
Strike 2 to Votto. The Pirates still have 3 outs to work with in the bottom of the 9th inning. As the Reds scored here in the top half of the 9th, Pirates may be able to do it in the bottom half. We'll see. They could do it off of Francisco Cordero. Phillips at second base. Over at first is Fred Lewis, and Votto takes ball 2. Two balls, 2 strikes. And he struck him out. So Votto goes down swinging with the bases full, but damage done. 2 runs in. It'll be Doman.
Now here's Jonathan Lucroy coming to the plate for Milwaukee. That's a great closer the Pirates have. Just hasn't had a lot of things to close lately, Mr. Hanrahan.
Yeah, and I can speak to the fact that it's frustrating when you're a closer and you go through these streaks as a team where you don't get the opportunity to go out there and do your job.
The Hanrahan is putting up near historic numbers this year, but.
And speaking to Clint Hurdle about him before the game, and Clint's really impressed with how he's taken the job as a closer and run with it. And he's still learning how to close. Well, I think the learning curve is over. I think he knows how to close.
We saw Mark Kotze on deck. In the spot where Estrada had started today. Again, Estrada went 5 innings. The Brewers getting a real nice performance from a guy who had not started since early May. Down the line and left, it's foul. Tell you what, pitching wise, maybe not since the days of Vukovich and Haas and Caldwell and McClure. They had a pitching rotation like they have right now, Mitch. And that doesn't include Marco Estrada in it. We're talking about the Zach Greinke, Gallardo, Markham
Sean
thing.
Markham. And that for me in the winter, that is what put me over the edge. There was two things involved in my decision on who I thought would win the Central. The first being when Adam Wainwright went out for the year for the Cardinals, and then the addition of Markham and Greinke to this pitching staff, for me, made the Brewers the Central favorite hands down.
Well, the fans here are with you. There was a run on season tickets as soon as the Greinke thing happened.
And there's a look at Zach Greinke, who last night twirled up a gem here. And Ron Renicky said last night was the first time all year that he saw the Zach Greinke throw like the Cy Young Award winner from 2 years ago, where he turned it loose. His velocity was great. He located great. And I just don't. I felt the same way about him. I just didn't think that we had seen the guy that had go to the mound and just turn it loose.
He's not lost here at home yet. I think Gallardo has held up his end of the deal. Markham, same story.
And Gallardo started slow. I mean, he had a slow start to the season, then turned it completely around. Sean Markham's been exactly what they thought he was going to be. And Zach Greinke, his ERA is elevated, but when you look at his 1-loss total, you have to be impressed. I believe he's won 11 and lost 4. With an 8-0 record here at home, so the fans here in Milwaukee gotta love him. And I think when you look at it, there had to be the right situation for Greinke to go to. I mean, with the well-documented social anxiety issues that he deals with, I think a town like Milwaukee where, I mean, let's be honest, they're friendly Midwestern people. It's a great place for them to go.
It is. They're friendly people, but the Pirates, they don't like it here. They just can't seem to win here.
And by Jeep. The Jeep summer clearance is here. Get to your Jeep dealer today for some of the best deals of the season. Just a beautiful Monday afternoon in Cincinnati. And a major league debut for Daniel McCutchen. He gave up a home run to the very first batter he faced, Drew Stubbs, and retired the next 3. And then gave his team the lead with a 2-out run scoring single in the second. 2-1 game. His mom Tammy, his dad Tim in the stands today. And we've already seen them applauding his base hit to knock in a run a moment ago. Johnny Gomes looks at a strike. Johnny at 281, and that one ripped foul. I'm not sure if that ball hit the ball boy's glove, then hit him in the helmet, or whether trying to make the catch, it just fell off. Hopefully he's all right.
That ball was smoked. Maybe it was a combination ball and helmet, glove all at the same time. He looks to be okay.
I hope so. A lot of top spin on that line drive.
He's tying,
get out of the way.
Tying the laces of that glove a little tighter out there a little bit now.
Game.
Well, he's got to come get that one.
And Dustin Pedroia coming up. Well, earlier in the game we were talking about, if a 3-game sweep is known as a sweep, should a 2-game sweep be known as a sweep? And go to first base and Ellsbury back. The idea we got is it should be called a dusting.
I like
it. A 2-game dusting.
I think you got something there. A sweep and a dusting.
Thanks to Milt, who emailed that in down in Florida. Pedroia at the plate, 0-1, and the American League steals leader at first base, and Jacoby Ellsbury.
Look at the Dodgers coming in for a 1 game.
Yeah, now we got
to
go back to the drawing board for that. 0-1, there goes Ellsbury. He had a good jump too, and Pedroia fouls it off.
And an excellent jump.
24 stolen bases for Ellsbury. He's been caught a league leading 10 times. He knew he had a good jump too.
Yeah, it's like 3 or 4 steps in before the ball was released to the plate.
Ahead of Coco Crisp by 1. Elvis Andrus for the Rangers with 22. Think about Ichiro with 19, and Ichiro's no real young gun anymore.
No, that's just what I was thinking about. He still getting it done. Can you imagine what his numbers would have been if he would have started his career in the States?
Would have been remarkable.
What was his first 6 years in Japan before he got to come over?
0-2 coming to Dustin Pedroia. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Yeah, the numbers that Ichiro's put up, you're looking at your first Japanese-born Hall of Famer.
Oh, well, no doubt in my mind.
Pedroia without the sunglasses this time up. There goes Ellsbury, and again, shot fouling out of play. Again, Ellsbury with a very good jump.
Now, Pedroia's got 2 strikes on him, so he can't really worry about taking a pitch, letting Ellsbury try and steal. He's got to swing if he thinks it's going to be in the zone. Got rid of the glasses, went with the eye black.
I think he had those on underneath the glasses anyway. I think. Double protection against the UV rays.
You can't be too safe.
There goes Ellsbury, and this one down the right field line, tailing away from Jones, and it'll go foul. In case you missed it around baseball, Some of the stories happening. Jose Bautista going back to third base this week, so we'll see him at third after playing 68 games in right field. Davey Johnson, the new manager, take over the team tomorrow, so we'll see him also on the next road trip. Sparky Anderson's jersey number 11 retired by the Tigers, and Roy Halladay, a complete game today. 4 strikeouts against the A's. 3-1 Philadelphia win. 5th complete game of the season. And the Red Sox head to Philadelphia after this game. They'll have a day off there tomorrow and open up a series on Tuesday. Think there'll be a little interest in that series?
Most likely.
Two of the best teams in the game going at it head to head 3 straight days.
Where are the Yankees going though? They're the ones I'm going to be rooting for.
You know that your new favorite team tied up Colorado, by the way, in the 7th. It's 4-4. 2-2 to Pedroia.
It's weird. I've never been all that interested in the Yankees before. I don't know what happened.
It's all right. You'll be over it by tomorrow. Next Swisher, Jorge Posada, hitting home runs for New York in that game against Colorado. There goes Ellsbury. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Throw down. Not in time. Almost got to strike him out, throw him out, but Ellsbury's so quick.
How about some interference there? Well, Pedroia, watch him come across the plate after he finishes his swing. Right in front of Fryer.
He tried to duck, I think.
Yeah, that was no contact. I think you got to have some contact for him to make that call.
7-0, including the manager, who has called all the right shots today. And now the Mets are up 9-7. Daniel McCutchen will come on to try to finish the bottom of the 8th.
Well, Daniel McCutchen, who came in here at Citi Field, only giving up 1 earned run, has been touched in his last 2 relief outings against the Mets for a couple of runs.
Now Jason Bay will try and add to this lead. Jason is 0 for 2 today. He's walked and been hit by a pitch. Murphy now at third, Reyes at second, and Beltran at first. 2 runs home here in the 8th inning. The Mets have grabbed the lead on a single, 4 walks, a wild pitch, and a balk. And Bay takes a strike from McCutchen, 0-1. Bay, the 8th man up in the inning. Well, not to be overlooked in what the Mets have accomplished this afternoon is the fact that they've gotten 3 scoreless innings out of their bullpen, which had been struggling so badly. Burdack, Parnell, Isringhausen, each with a scoreless inning to give the Mets a chance to come back. And K-Rod getting ready to finish the deal. It's been 11 years since the Mets have come from 7 runs down to win a game. The club record for comebacks is an 8-run deficit. They did that against the Astros back in '72. Bay lays off, and it's 1-2. Bay fouls it off. You know, I was just looking at that shot of Terry Collins and thinking of something Terry said this morning. He was talking about his reactions last night, and he was asked about, you know, his reputation of being a little too fiery and maybe being a little over the top. And he said, you know, I've matured and I've tempered that a little bit. He said, but I'm still pretty competitive. He said, if we were playing ping pong, I'd try to kick your butt.
Yeah, he's got a great desire to win. You're right.
And you can see it in the way he has handled himself the last 24 hours. Here's the 1-2 to Bay. Struck him out to end the inning. So McCutchen puts an end to it, but the Mets with a 2-run 8th inning against Jose Veras, who hurt himself with 4 walks, a balk, and a wild pitch. But it all started with a Ronnie Polino hit. The balk, the wild pitch, and the Mets lead 9-7 after 8.
The dealers, visit mycincinnatihondadealer.com for current offers, and buy McDonald's of Greater Cincinnati. Reds back to work with Jay Bruce. Valentine and Tatum due up. Reds' opportunities have been few and far between. A single from Votto in the first, a walk to Bruce in the second, a one-out double to Stubbs, and the Reds had 2 ground ball outs in the third to end that threat. A walk to Roland in the fourth with 1 out, and then the leadoff double by Giannis in the sixth, but Reds couldn't even get him to third. So get him on, get him over, get him in. Hasn't worked tonight for the Reds. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Fouled off but held on to by Domet. That's a strikeout of Jay. So he's 0 for 2 and a walk. And here comes Ballantine, who's 0 for 2.
You get that many quality players for a couple of guys that are going to be moving on anyway. That's what you hope for.
Alan Craig moves to the on-deck circle, which would be Mitchell Boggs' spot. And Fernando Salas, who has been a closer this year for the Cardinals, getting loose. A strike to Descalso, who's bounced into a 6-4-3 double play. And he also singled in the fifth. Alan Craig has had tremendous numbers against the Pirates this year. That's pulled foul, 0-2, going back to Chris Carpenter, who made the start today for the Cardinals from 0-4 up until this season through 2010. 11-1 against the Pirates with a 2.12 ERA. And if he loses today, he'll drop to 1-2 against the Pirates with an ERA of 5. Bit surprising.
Yep. Numbers, I think his ERA even lower than that here in St. Louis.
Held on to by Descalso, and it's a strikeout. Daniel thought it hit the dirt. Instead, it's a strikeout. And the first out recorded by McCutchen.
It was a close one.
And the correct call. So Alan Craig will be the hitter.
Dan, you mentioned about Craig.
In his last 16 games, he's on fire. And almost all of that here at home. He had the hot homestand when the Nats took care of Seattle, St. Louis before that, and of course Baltimore. And the Nats have all this momentum, having lost only one of their last 11 games right here.
Yeah, and Danny Espinosa leading off the 7th right now. He's hit a couple of balls hard tonight, so get the leadoff man on and see what you can do.
Pirates bullpen has a long way to go in this game, and the Nats starter has gone 7 again. Daniel McCutchen will get the call for the Bucks here in the bottom of the 7th. Tyler Clippard is the Nats' 8th inning guy. And the Nats have 7 innings or more out of Tom Gorzolani for the 2nd consecutive time and for the 4th time this year.
Yeah, McCutchen, 2-seam fastball, 4-seam fastball, curve and a change to go with. If the 2-seamer will go 88 to 93, the 4-seamer 90 to 95.
Gorzolani, by the way, 95 pitches, 68 strikes, so that could be it for him. First pitch 90 inside corner for a strike. Look at him turn that one over. You could tell on our shot, which Danny Espinosa could not see, that was a different kind of grip. 28-year-old right-hander. Danny tonight has lined out hard to third and flied out to left. So against the right-hander, Charlie Morton, he had him going opposite field both times. Hit the ball on the button, and he'll take that one low, 1-2. Wilson Ramos, Ian Desmond to follow here in the 7th. Espinosa with a big swing, and he's gone. Nats have been on the road a lot lately. If you're hitting the road, you can take baseball with you, Washington style, MLB.tv.
But plan to.
Not me.
It?
Nope.
No?
Don't want to see it. I have no.
Game score is probably going to be in there somewhere.
I thought of saying that. I haven't watched a baseball movie or read a baseball book in a long, long time. Last baseball book I read was Ball 4.
Jim Bob?
Yep, back in, I think when I was in high school.
Mesoraco fouls this pitch off 0-2.
I look at it this way. We live it every day. We watch it. We don't need to read or watch fiction.
Well, Moneyball is a true story.
Like I said.
Oh-2 pitch. A swing and a miss. He strikes out. McHenry tags him. And Devin Mesoraco today is 1 for 4.
Blowing kind of from left to right.
Deory Hernandez will pinch hit rather than Brooks Conrad. Initially, Freddie Gonzalez had Brooks Conrad out on deck, and now he goes with Deory Hernandez with 2 outs. He was recalled from AAA May the 8th. 1-1. McCutchen struck out 4 of the 7 batters he faced in those 2 scoreless innings on Sunday against Detroit. Scored upon just twice in his last 17 games. One and 2.
93 miles an hour with location. Daniel McCutchen may have found his niche.
Struck him out.
Coming out of that bullpen.
1, 2, 3. Go the Atlanta Braves in the top of the 7th inning, and another look at the strikeout of Deory Hernandez as he's caught looking on our AGH cam.
Gives up on this overhand curveball. There's the spin. And it settles nicely right on the corner.
And now take me out to the ball game.
Out to the ball game.
Come down to a ball game, that's nonsense. The Kroger meal deal. Top of the order for the Reds against Daniel McCutchen, who makes his major league debut today. Reds in front 3-2, and Stubbs a big reason why. A leadoff home run in the first inning, the first this year hit by a Red. And then he had a 1-out single, stole a base, and scored on a single by Sutton in the 3rd inning. Slider away, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Sutton gone on strikes. That's number 3 of the day for Mr. McCutchen. Number 4, I beg your pardon. Well, tonight,
bolster their outfield speed for their ballpark, PNC Park in Pittsburgh, and they've sure done that with McCutchen and Lasting's millage. So 1 out, runner still at second, and here's Brandon, struck out, bounced out 0 for 2. Now the other part, you were talking earlier about Justin Lear being tired after all the innings pitched and all the starts during the course of this year, meaning the winter and spring and the season, and he can't get that full extension. And when I looked at John Smoltz delivering, he didn't get that extra extension that always gave him that movement at the end, or that little bit of bump to his velocity that he had during his heyday.
Yeah, that's a good observation. He looks like a guy coming back off of arm injury. Some guys really show it. Right now, John does, and I think that he's got a little bit left in the tank. What is he, 40 or 41 years old? But still, that's an incredible athlete. But just not the ball coming out of his hand like it used to. And he may be better off in the bullpen, and that might be where they end up using him in the long run anyway.
I really had the feeling that when they did bring him on board, that was their end plan when all was said and done, build up a little arm strength and then use him to make their bullpen much more complete. And we saw it even before he came to the National League. I mean, his velocity for the first 2 or 3 innings was measurably higher than in the last 4th and 5th inning, sometimes the 6th when he was in Boston. So if he knows he's going to have to go an inning or 2 at the most, his velocity will be better, and maybe that'll be a place where he could help the Cardinals in the postseason.
And he actually pitched better than his numbers showed that night. The grand slam by Lance Nix was on an 0-2 pitch, a curveball that he threw him 3 curveballs in a row, threw 2 real good ones. Nix went to school on each of those, and he finally hung one, and that's when Lance got it out of here.
Swing and a miss by Brandon. He's retired. As your second out of the inning, the runner's still sitting out at second base for the Reds. Welcome.
Cubs scored 2 in the first inning, 1 in the second, 1 in the third, another in the fourth. Correa, 3 2/3, gave up 5. Chris LaRue, 1 1/3, scoreless. Strike on Pena. Reds and Brewers tied at 3 after 6. Arizona leads 5-1 at St. Louis in the bottom of the 6th. Snap throw to first by McHenry.
Can't blame that young man for feeling a little feisty.
He likes to do that. He's shown in the time he's been with the Pirates that he will on occasion gun that ball down toward first, try and pick off a runner. One and 2. Pena lined a single in the 5th inning between the second base bag and the second baseman Walker. And now they'll, with a 1-2 count, move Harrison not just well off the line at third, but over to the right side of second. On 0-2, he was just well off the line. Now 1-2. He moves over there, so 3 infielders on the right side. Chase Darno is the shortstop. Pena had an opposite field single in the 3rd off Correa. Struck out in the 1st. And now 2-2 on Pena. How about that? That didn't take long.
Wow, that is quick. And that's legit.
That's legit right there. Hot looking is Carlos Pena.
At left side. So some anxious moments here with Carlos Gomez. And
don't look now, but Craig Counsell's starting to swing the bat much better.
That's right.
That was a nice piece of hitting. Able to dump one into center field and almost was able to get his RBI.
Both Axford and Narveson doing some throwing. LaTroy Hawkins was throwing a moment ago. I'm still thinking about the Dan Johnson home run.
That's amazing, isn't it? I mean, Mariano Rivera not in the ball game. The Boston Red Sox sitting in that clubhouse in Baltimore watching it rain, and they went from a 7-0 lead, the Yankees, to a tie game in 2 innings.
7-0, bottom of the 8th. Rays score 7 unanswered. They're still batting. They have the winning run aboard. No Mariano Rivera. Scott Proctor pitching for the Yankees. As I recall, Dan Johnson hit a big home run for the Rays in 08. Part of that World Series run for Joe Madden's Rays. He did it against Boston. Counsell takes off, and there's a called strike 3. The inning is over. Side retired to the 9th. The Brewers are 3.
He's dealt with a lot of stuff, and he's still come out very strong and hitting well over 300.
His work ethic, his approach is so solid. Here's Brandon, fouls it off the mask of Domit for strike 1. Here's one that'll jar your head a little bit. Ooh.
Well, he had a pitch there to drive, too. That's one of those pitches that Brandon Phillips is looking for on the first pitch of an at-bat with a man on base. 5 away from 100 runs batted in. He could have a big night, a couple nights in a row, and get to that number.
Kind of hit a plateau. He had a great, when we were in Pittsburgh, he went from 88 to 92 runs batted in, got up to 95, and is stalled there for the better part of the last week.
Yeah, he hasn't had a lot of guys on.
Well, when you got Votto hitting in front of you, he doesn't leave many, does he?
And exactly. When you've got the guy who is the player of the week hitting in front of you, who's leading the world in doubles, I mean, he's cleaning up the base paths for you.
That's right.
So the good news is the team is scoring runs. The bad news is you're not getting their RBI.
No balls, 1 strike to Brandon. Now Joey had bluffed going to second, and they'll all of a sudden realize he's over there and toss back to first and hold him.
Well, he's quickly gaining the reputation of being one of the better base runners on this Reds ball club. Not the speediest by far, but from first to third and from second to home, he's one of the best because he really works at it.
No balls, 1 strike. We just left Houston, and he reminds me a lot at the similar stage of his career, Jeff Bagwell. Bagwell was never the fastest runner on his ball club that had some real speed burners. But he was always a smart base runner and would steal a base because you just forget about him. And Joey has the potential to do that throughout his career.
You know, he must know when Daniel McCutchen's coming over because he'll take a lead and then he'll shorten his lead by a full stride, and then McCutchen throws to first base.
He wasn't more than a step off the bag that time.
I think that Votto's got the signs coming out of that Pirate dugout.
He just knows Joe Kerrigan. That's down low. Joe will throw over there a lot. All the pitches and throwovers called by Joe Kerrigan on the bench, the pitching coach for this Bucco team. At that, Phillips retired, still with the Reds, even with the hit from Joey Votto. To the second we go. Millage will lead it off. Phillips back to second.